Hey everyone, Dan here at Fanatic Bike Co. Today I brought you here to check out a very cool product, the Cane Creek eeWings mountain crankset. These are a completely titanium crankset with the exception of the preload collar. That is a aluminum piece that they machine in-house in their facilities outside of Asheville, North Carolina, another mountain biking hotspot. This project came to be, their engineering department was working on a road titanium crankset, and a number of their mountain biking employees said, hey, we all run carbon cranks, we've had failures in the past, could this be ported over to the mountain side of things and maybe make a bulletproof crankset that is not going to break and be in the same weight class as their carbon counterparts. So engineering department said, let's check it out, see what we can do. This is obviously not something that most of us are going to be interested in. These do cost a pretty penny. Like I said, every single part of these cranks, except for that preload ring, is titanium. That includes the little titanium chainring bolts and the spindle bolt, big honker. There's a lot of really good other crank options out there. Aluminum is what they've been made out of for ages, pretty much tried and true. Got the race face turbine cranks here. That's an awesome option if you're looking to save some weight. Things like the race face 6C carbon crank. I've been running this particular crank on my downhill bike for years with no issue. But for those of us who want the lightest possible weight and are charging really hard, don't want to be worrying about your crank failing on you, which is a pretty scary thing to have happen, this might be something to consider, especially if you have a bunch of money burning a hole in your pocket. These things are gorgeous. They are fully titanium, as I said. I saw these and I said, hey, I want to try these out. What's the deal? So I was able to get a set to put on the Noli Fugitive that I built up last Friday. Got them here, got them installed, and went up to the North Shore, just in North Vancouver, over the weekend. If you've ever ridden in Canada, particularly that area, you'll know that it is sort of the anti-flow, a lot of ultra tech, a lot of funky rock moves, hucks to flat, charging through root gardens and rock gardens and all sort of weird stuff. Pretty much the perfect place to smash your pedals and your cranks on a bunch of rocks, maybe toss your bike into a rock pile. Did that over the weekend. Great place to see how much abuse something can stand up to. Now, anytime I lay the bike down, particularly running carbon components, I get a little wary. You want to check over everything, make sure there's no gashes on anything. That sort of thing will, over time, compromise the integrity of a carbon component and can result in failure, especially when you really don't want it to, maybe casing a big jump or something. The titanium cranks, well, Cane Creek did a video where they cover a lot of the more scientific testing, strength testing they did on these. They also did some funnier, goofier kind of tests, some big hucks to flat, stuff like that. I will link to that video at the end of this one. And it pretty much convinced me that these things are bomb-proof, but I wanted to try them out myself. I gotta say, I was a little worried about the stiffness of these. You hear about titanium as being a bit flexier. It's used a lot on high-end mountain hardtails, high-end road bikes, because it does have a little bit of give to it. It's as light as aluminum, as strong as steel, or so they say. But it has a nice amount of flex to it. So I was a little worried about that, though. I don't want my pedals flexing under me when I'm plopping down from a 7-foot drop to flat. Try to avoid that as much as possible. But in Canada, it does happen sometimes. I'm confident in saying I did not get any flex feedback from these cranks. Felt just as stiff as my 6C cranks on my downhill bike. And got a couple dings in there, no big deal. You can take some Scotch-Brite to these, freshen them up, bring them back to their original luster. If you're spending this much money on a crankset, you probably want it to look good. I also got a good handful of comments about how awesome these things are, and they really are just a totally gorgeous piece of kit. It's going to make your custom mountain bike look phenomenal. Like I said, not for everybody. They do cost a pretty penny, but for high-end components, it's a pretty cool one, and I, for one, am happy to have them on the market and available for those who want. Now, Cane Creek is an awesome company. I've liked them for a long time. I did review their Helm fork. I will link to that at the end of this. I just found out today that they've dropped the price of that from $1,100 to $899. It's one of my favorite forks on the market. I think one of the stiffest. Check out that review. If you have any questions about these cranks or anything else, please feel free to let us know in the comments below. You can also always shoot us an email at sales@fanaticbike.com or give us a phone call at 1-844-FANATIC. That's 1-844-326-2845. If you like watching these videos, guys, please subscribe, give us a like. We really like making them. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming down the line that we're really excited about. You've probably seen our new visual builder on our website where you can build a bike and watch it get built up in front of you. Check that out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.